When you take the night shift at the old gas station on Highway 59, they give you a list of rules. Most are common sense. A few of them, well, they're the only reason you're still here to tell this story. The paper is yellow now, soft like fabric from how many nervous, sweaty hands have folded and unfolded it. It lives in your back pocket. You can feel it even when you're not touching it. A constant, low-grade reminder of what the darkness holds. The man who hired you, a wiry old fellow named Silas who smelled of menthol and motor oil, just tapped the list with a crooked finger. "You'll get the hang of it," he said. "The quiet takes some getting used to. The other stuff, well, just follow the rules." He didn't elaborate. He didn't have to. The look in his eyes, a deep-set weariness that had nothing to do with his age, said more than he ever could. Welcome to Sleepy Echoes Unwind, where the night remembers old stories. Tonight, we journey into a place where shadows linger and forgotten whispers rise with the dark. Now, light your lanterns, slow your breathing, and let us drift together into the hush of the night. Section 1. The Setup. The place is called the Oasis, which has to be some kind of sick joke. It's not an oasis, it's an island. A tiny fluorescent-lit island, adrift in a vast black ocean of pine forest and swamp. For 20 miles in either direction, there's nothing but the two-lane highway, the sighing wind, and the oppressive velvet dark of the rural south. During the day, it's just a run-down gas station, peeling paint, a gravel lot that's more weeds than rock, one of the numbers on the price sign permanently stuck on a 7. But at night, when the sun bleeds out behind the tree line and the cicadas start their shrill, electric hum, the place changes. The Oasis becomes the only point of light in 100 square miles. Its buzzing glow is a beacon, and you learn quick that it attracts more than just tired truckers. The inside of the little convenience store is your whole world from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. It's a box of unnaturally bright light, filled with the smells of stale coffee, the sweet, cloying scent of cherry air freshener trying and failing to mask the mildew, and the low, constant hum of the cooler compressors. That hum is the soundtrack to your nights, a sound you don't notice until it stops, and you pray it never, ever stops. For the first few weeks, the job is exactly what you expected. Long stretches of boredom punctuated by brief transactional moments. A trucker buying lukewarm coffee, some teenagers buying snacks, a woman with tired eyes putting exactly $20 of gas in her sedan. You think the real challenge is the loneliness, the way the silence presses in on you from the other side of the big plate glass windows. The darkness out there isn't just an absence of light. It feels like a physical thing. A solid, watching blackness that starts right where the floodlights give up. You've read the list of rules, of course. You've even laughed at a few. It's a folded piece of notebook paper, the writing a chaotic mix of different hands, some in neat cursive, some in a frantic scrawl. The first few are normal enough. Rule number 1, brew a fresh pot of coffee at midnight and 4 a.m. Rule number 2, mop the floors before sunrise. Standard stuff. Quirky, maybe, but harmless. You figure it's a long-running joke between the night shift guys, a way to cope with the isolation by inventing a little folklore for the place, a way to make the shadows feel less empty. You are wrong. The shadows aren't empty, and the rules aren't folklore. They're a survival guide. Section 2. The Inciting Anomaly. Your real education begins on a Tuesday, about a month in. It's one of those moonless, humid nights where the air is so thick you feel like you're breathing water. The highway has been dead silent for over an hour. That's when you see the headlights, They don't grow from a distance, they just appear, turning into the lot. It's a long, dark sedan, something old and heavy, with chrome that glints in the dim light. It rolls slowly, silently, across the gravel and stops at pump 3, the one furthest from the store, right on the edge of the light. And then, nothing. The engine cuts out. The headlights die. But nobody gets out. You wait. A minute passes. Then 2. You can just make out the silhouette of a person in the driver's seat. They are perfectly still. You feel that first prickle of unease. Not quite fear, just a powerful sense of wrongness. This is a place people pass through. Nobody just stops. You tap your fingers on the counter, wondering if you should go out there. Maybe they fell asleep. Maybe they need help. Then you remember the list. Your hand goes to your back pocket and pulls out the folded paper. Your eyes scan down, past the normal stuff, until they hit the first of the real rules. Rule number 4. If a car pulls up to pump 3 after midnight, but no one gets out, do not look at the driver's side window. Do not approach the vehicle. Turn off the main lot lights for exactly 5 minutes. They will leave. It sounds insane. Plunging the station into darkness feels like the opposite of security. Your rational mind is screaming that it's a prank. Local kids messing with the new guy. But the stillness of that car, it feels unnatural. The silhouette hasn't moved an inch. It is less like a person waiting and more like a statue. You take a deep breath. Your heart is starting to thud against your ribs. You look from the car to the switch panel behind the counter, the one labeled exterior lights. Your hand is shaking. This is stupid, you think. But the image of that unmoving shape is more compelling than logic. With a flick of your finger, you cut the power to the lot. The world outside vanishes, swallowed by an instantaneous, suffocating blackness. The front windows become perfect black mirrors. You can see only your own reflection, a pale, wide-eyed ghost floating in the void. And you can't see the car at all. Those 5 minutes are the longest of your life. The silence is absolute. Every creak of the old building is magnified. You are hyper-aware that there is nothing but a pane of glass between you and whatever is sitting in that impenetrable dark. You hold your breath, straining your ears for a car door, for footsteps on the gravel. Nothing. After an eternity, your watch alarm chimes. Your hand, slick with sweat, flips the switch. Light floods the lot again, harsh and painfully bright. The space beside pump 3 is empty. The car is just gone. No sound of an engine, no taillights fading down the highway. It has just vanished. You stand there for a long time, heart hammering, staring at the empty space. That is the night the boredom ends. That is the night you start to believe. Section 3. The Escalating Chain. Part 1. After the car at pump 3, the job changes. The gas station no longer feels like a lonely, safe box. It feels like a cage, or maybe a baited trap. You aren't sure if you are the bait or the one hiding. The list of rules isn't a joke anymore. It's a catechism. You read it every night, memorizing the strange warnings scrawled by your unseen predecessors. Rule number 6. The payphone on the outside wall will sometimes ring. It hasn't been connected in 20 years. Never answer it. If for any reason you do not speak first. Whatever it says, your only reply must be, "We're all out." Hang up immediately. Do not look outside for at least 10 minutes. The payphone is a rusted metal fossil bolted to the brick, its receiver dangling on a frayed cord. So when it rings, the sound is doubly shocking. Not a clean ring, but a shrill, metallic jangling, abrasive and loud. Bring! Bring. It sounds like it's coming from inside your own skull. Your blood runs cold. The first time, you just freeze, staring toward the sound. It rings 5 times, then stops. The silence that rushes back in is heavier, charged with a new and specific dread. A few nights later, it happens again. Bring, bring. This time, you're feeling foolishly brave. The rule says never answer, but it also gives a contingency. That means someone has answered before and survived. Curiosity is a powerful thing. Against your better judgment, you walk to the counter and hit the button for the ancient external intercom. After the 3rd ring, you click the button to answer. You don't speak, you just listen. The sound that comes through is a waterfall of static. But underneath it, or maybe inside it, is a whisper. Faint, distorted, right at the edge of your hearing. It takes you a moment to realize what it is. A voice, stretched and warped. And it is saying your name, over and over. A dry, rasping sound, like dead leaves. Then the whispering stops, and a different voice speaks, clear as a bell and terrifyingly familiar. It is your mother's. Honey, are you there? I'm lost and my car broke down. I can see the lights of your station. Please, can you let me in? It's so dark out here. The world spins. Your mother lives 3 states away. She is asleep in her bed. You know this is a fact. But the voice, it is perfect. The same gentle cadence she used when you were a kid. Every part of you screams to run to the door, to help her, but the rule holds you in place, a cold iron band around your chest. Your throat feels tight and dry. You lean into the intercom, your lips almost touching the plastic. We're all out, you whisper, the words tasting like ash. You slam the hang-up button and stumble back, your legs weak. You don't look out the window. You go to the back storeroom, turn on a radio, and sit on a stack of paper towels until the shaking stops. The radio becomes your next trial. Rule number 7. Between 3 a.m. and 3:33 a.m., the radio behind the counter will sometimes play a song that doesn't exist. Do not hum along. Do not tap your foot. Do not acknowledge it. Concentrate on cleaning the coffee machine. It hates being ignored, but it hates being acknowledged more. It happens at 3:13 a.m. on a Thursday. The country station dissolves into static, then reforms. It is a song, but like none you've ever heard. An acoustic guitar, slightly out of tune, plays a simple, mournful melody. A man's voice, raw and filled with ancient sorrow, begins to sing. The lyrics are strange, about a traveler on a road that never ends, a thirst that can never be quenched, and a warm, inviting light up ahead that always stays just out of reach. It is hypnotic. You feel your foot start to tap along to the beat before you even realize it. You freeze. The rule: do not tap your foot. You immediately turn your attention to the coffee machine. You grab a rag and scrub with an intensity that is borderline insane. All the while, the song plays on, seeming to get louder, the singer's voice more pleading, trying to pull you into its sad, endless story. You keep your eyes down, your hands busy, your mind chanting, "It isn't real, it isn't real." At exactly 3:33 a.m., the song cuts out mid-verse, replaced by the jarringly cheerful voice of a DJ. The spell is broken, but the memory of that sorrowful voice lingers, a ghost in the hum of the coolers. Section 4. The escalating chain. Part 2. The entities aren't just sounds. Sometimes they come inside. Rule number 9. A man in a long, dusty coat may come in and ask for a map to a town called Penance. This town does not exist. Sell him an old map from the box under the counter for $1. Do not make eye contact. His money is real, but put it in the cracked donation jar for the church that burned down in 1958. He comes on a rainy night, the wind howling. The door chimes and a gust of cold, damp air swirls in, carrying the scent of wet earth. The man who stands there seems to suck the warmth out of the room. He is impossibly tall and thin, stooped inside a heavy dark coat. A wide-brimmed hat casts his face in shadow, but you can feel his gaze on you. He drifts to the counter, his wet boots making no sound. "Got a map?" he asks. His voice is a low rumble, like stones grinding together. Your heart seizes. This is him. You avoid his face, focusing on a button on his coat. "Where you headed?" you squeak, and immediately curse yourself. Do not ask him where he's going. He is silent for a long moment. "Just looking for the road to Penance," he finally says. "Been a long time on this highway." Your hands tremble as you reach under the counter for the dusty box of old maps. You pull one out and slide it across, your eyes fixed on the forgotten state roads. You can't look at him. He places a single crumpled dollar on the counter. His fingers are long and unnaturally pale. As he draws his hand back, your fingers brush. His skin is cold, not rain cold, but a deep, profound cold that feels like it came from the grave. A jolt goes up your arm. He picks up the map, folds it, and places it inside his coat. Without another word, he turns and walks out. The gust of wind that comes in as he leaves smells of freshly turned soil. You stare at the dollar. It looks normal, but holding it, you can feel that same unnatural coldness. You quickly snatch it up and shove it into the slot of the cracked donation jar. The moment the bill drops inside, the feeling vanishes. Penance, the name echoes in your mind. Not a place, a destination. The tall man is unnerving, but the next one almost breaks you. Rule number 11. Sometimes a child will appear at the glass door, crying. They will not have a coat. They will not make a sound. They are not real. Lock the door, go into the back storeroom, and count aloud to 100. Do not listen to the scratching. It's a cold night in late autumn. You are restocking the soda cooler when you see movement at the front door. Standing just outside the glass is a little girl, no more than 7. She has pale blonde hair plastered to her head by a rain that isn't falling, and she wears a simple white dress. Her feet are bare on the cold concrete. Her face is pale and tear-streaked, her mouth open in a silent sob. She is just staring at you, her eyes wide and pleading. Every decent instinct you have screams at you to run to her, open the door, wrap her in a blanket. This is a child, a lost, cold, terrified child. Your hand is already moving toward the door when the rule flashes in your mind. They are not real. You look back at her. She looks so real. Her small body is trembling. She raises a small hand and places it flat against the glass, a desperate appeal. Your heart feels like it is being squeezed in a vice. What if the rule is wrong this time? What if this is a real little girl and you are about to leave her to freeze? But the man was real. The voice on the phone was real. You have to trust the rules. With a sob catching in your own throat, you turn your back on her. You walk to the door and throw the heavy deadbolt. The thunk of the lock sounds like a gunshot. You can't look back. You run into the back storeroom, lean against the door and begin to count. 1, 2, 3. Your voice is a choked whisper. Then you hear it. A faint, rhythmic sound. Scratch, scratch, scratch. The sound of small fingernails dragging across glass. 10, 11, 12. You count louder, trying to drown it out. The scratching continues, steady and unnerving. It is the most terrible sound you have ever heard. You cover your ears, but you can still hear it. 45, 46. The image of her pleading face is burned into your mind. Scratch, scratch, scratch. 98, 99, 100. You stop. The scratching stops at the exact same moment. You stay in that storeroom for a long time. When you finally go back out, she is gone. But on the inside of the glass door, right where her hand had been, is a small, cloudy handprint, already fading. Section 5. The Escalating Chain. Part 3. After the crying child, paranoia sets in. The threats aren't just outside anymore. It's a strange feeling when a place you know starts to feel wrong, subtly altered. The station itself is turning against you. Rule number 13. If the lights in aisle 3, the chip aisle, flicker in a pattern, long, short, something is inside the store with you, hiding. Do not panic. Do not go looking for it. Walk to the front counter, face the aisle, and smile. Say in a friendly voice, "Looks like we're closing up a little early tonight." Immediately turn the open sign to closed for exactly 60 seconds. It will leave. One night, you see it out of the corner of your eye. The fluorescent tube above the chip aisle blinks, then a longer blink, then a short one. Long, short. Your breath hitches. Your blood turns to ice. Something is inside the store with you. The rows of potato chips suddenly look sinister, each shadow a lurking form. You can feel it, the sense of being watched. Your first instinct is to bolt. Your second is to grab the tire iron under the counter. But the rule is clear. Do not panic. You force your legs to move until you are behind the register. You turn to face aisle 3 and stretch your lips into a painful smile. "Looks like," you say, your voice cracking. You clear your throat. "Looks like we're closing up a little early tonight." The words sound absurd. You spin around, fumble with the open sign, and flip it over to closed. Your heart is a drum against your ribs as you stand with your back to the store and wait. 60 seconds feels like an hour. You hear the faint crinkle of what you pray is just a bag of chips settling. Then you feel a sudden, cold draft swirl around your ankles, as if the front door had opened and closed, though you heard nothing. The oppressive feeling lifts. Your watch beeps. 1 minute. You flip the sign back to open. When you turn around, the light in aisle 3 is steady. You don't go down that aisle for the rest of the night. You start to distrust everything. Rule number 15. Do not eat any of the hot dogs from the roller grill after 1 a.m. They look fine, they smell fine, they aren't fine. This one seems almost funny. You love those greasy hot dogs, but for weeks you obey. One night you are starving. The hot dogs sizzle invitingly. What could possibly be wrong with them? You make your decision. To hell with the rules. You grab a bun and tongs, your mouth watering. As the tongs are about to close around the plumpest hot dog, you hesitate. The list has been right about everything else. You sigh, defeated, and pull your hand back. As you do, you see it. The hot dog you had been about to grab twists on its spit, It turns about 45 degrees, as if looking at you. It stops, perfectly still, facing you directly, while the others continue their mindless rotation. You stare, your mind refusing to process what you are seeing. It's a hot dog. It can't look at you. You feel a wave of nausea and back away slowly, your eyes locked on the sentient piece of meat. You spend the rest of your shift hungry, huddled by the magazine rack. The hunger is gone, replaced by a cold, crawling horror. They aren't fine. They really, really aren't fine. Section 6. The Confrontation. The final hours, between 4 a.m. and sunrise, are the deepest and darkest. This is the hour of the final exam. Rule number 18. At precisely 4:45 a.m., the main power will cut. This is not a normal outage. This is the hour of the hungry god. You have 1 minute of absolute darkness before the backup generator kicks in. Use this minute to get to the safe room in the back office. Do not run. Do not bring a flashlight. It can see your light. Move calmly. It can hear your fear. You've rehearsed it every night in your mind. 20 paces. The night it happens, you are watching the clock. 4:44. You take a deep breath. 4:45. Click. The world ends. The transition from bright light to total consuming blackness is a physical blow. The darkness is perfect, thick, and palpable. The station's hum is gone, replaced by a silence so deep it rings in your ears. And in that silence, you are not alone. Your heart is hammering. It can hear your fear. You force yourself to move, hands outstretched, shuffling your feet. The air is cold, dead. You can feel a presence in the room, something vast and ancient and utterly silent, moving in the dark with you. Your foot catches on a floor mat, and you stumble with a tiny gasp. In the crushing silence, it feels like a scream. You freeze, and from the main part of the store, you hear a soft, wet, shifting sound. Like something huge adjusting its weight. It is closer. Panic shoots through you. You scramble down the hall, hands slapping the wall, searching for the office. You find it, crash into the desk, and your hand finds the cold steel of the safe room door. You fumble it open, lunge inside, and pull the heavy door shut, just as you hear a low, guttural inhalation from the office, right where you had just been. You throw the heavy bolt. The sound echoes like thunder, and then you are in a smaller, more perfect darkness, your back pressed against the cold steel, listening. Rule number 19. When you are in the safe room, you will hear things. It is in the store now. It will call to you, using the voices of people you love. It is learning. Do not answer. Do not make a sound. Do not open this door. Wait for the generator. A slow, heavy dragging starts right outside the door. Then, sniffing deep and wet at the crack under the door. It is searching. Then come the voices.
Honey? It's me. Open the door, sweetie. Why did you lock me out?
Your girlfriend's voice. Perfect. Your mind screams, it's not her, it's not her. The voice changes. Son, you did the right thing. You're safe now. You can come out. Your father's voice, calm and reassuring. A tear slides down your cheek. Then the dry, leafy whisper you heard on the phone. Skin full of salt, heart full of blood, so warm inside. A litany of hunger. Then the worst part, you hear yourself crying out in pain.
Help me! It's got me! Oh God, open the door, it hurts!
You listen to your own voice begging for your own help, a gurgling, tearing sound underneath. You clamp your hands over your ears, trying to disappear. Just as your mind is about to shatter, a deafening roar erupts outside. The backup generator. A crack of light appears under the door. The sounds stop. Instantly, the silence that returns is the most beautiful sound you have ever heard. Section 7. The lingering dread / conclusion. You wait in the safe room until you see the first faint gray light of dawn through the crack under the door. When you finally step out, the store is quiet. The sun is rising. The oppressive presence is gone. But the store is not the same. A bag of chips lies torn open in aisle 2. A single, muddy footprint, far too large to be human, is drying on the floor. A long, deep scratch is carved into the office wall. It is the only evidence. You are tired in a way that goes past bone deep. You walk to the front window and watch the sun climb higher. Then you see headlights. A pickup is pulling in. Your breath catches, but then you remember the last rule. Rule number 20. When the sun rises, everything goes back to normal. The first customer will be a trucker named Sal, who wants black coffee and a donut. He will complain about the price of gas. This is how you know it's over. For now. Before you clock out, find the list and write down anything new you learned. For the next guy. The door chimes. A portly man in flannel walks in.
Morning,
He grunts.
coffee black, and is that a glazed donut?
You nod, your hands moving automatically.
Sure is, Sal.
He pays, takes a loud slurp of coffee, and shakes his head.
Lord, the price of gas these days. It's highway robbery.
He says it every morning, and every morning it is the most comforting sentence in the English language. It means you've survived another night. But the relief is always temporary. The darkness always comes back. The job pays too well to quit, so you stay. You follow the rules, and you add to them. Before you leave that morning, you take the tattered list out. In your own shaky handwriting, you add a new entry at the bottom. A lesson you learned in the split second before the total darkness. A moment you had shoved down deep. Rule number 21. Don't ever look at your own reflection in the darkened glass when the power is out. It's been practicing your smile. Section 8. Penance. That morning, after Sal leaves, you don't just clock out. You pack your one small bag. You've had enough. You are never coming back. You don't call Silas. You don't leave a note. You just get in your car, throw it in drive, and peel out of the gravel lot, spraying dust. You don't look back. You drive for hours, the sun climbing high in the sky. The terror of the night fades, replaced by the warm, simple relief of the open road. But a strange feeling begins to creep in. The pine trees all look the same. The heat shimmering off the asphalt is hypnotic. You haven't seen another car for an hour. You remember the song from the radio about the traveler on a road that never ends. Your gaslight pings. Up ahead, you see a sign for a station. Relief. You pull off the highway. Peeling paint. A gravel lot that's more weeds than rock. One of the numbers on the price sign is permanently stuck on a 7. It's the Oasis. A cold dread, heavier than anything you felt in the night, settles in your bones. It's not possible. You turn the car around and drive in the opposite direction. You drive until the tank is nearly empty again. And again, the only sign of life is the familiar, sickly glow of the Oasis. You are the traveler. This is the road that never ends. You are not looking for penance. You are in it. Defeated, you pull into the lot just as the sun bleeds out behind the tree line. You get out of the car. The air is different now. You are different, thinner, more wiry. The scent of menthol and motor oil seems to cling to your skin. You walk toward the fluorescent glow of the store. The door chimes as you enter. A kid, he can't be more than 20, jumps, his face pale with nervous energy. He's the new hire. He's standing behind the counter, a folded, yellowed piece of paper in his hand. He looks at you with wide, questioning eyes. You drift towards the counter, your boots making no sound on the dusty floor. You look down at his trembling hands, at the list. Your list. And a deep, ancient weariness fills you. You raise a hand, your finger feeling strangely crooked, and tap the paper. A voice that is and isn't yours. A low, raspy sound like grinding stones comes out of your mouth. "You'll get the hang of it," you say. The quiet takes some getting used to. The other stuff, well, just follow the rules. Have you ever had a job with strange, unwritten rules? Or seen something on a lonely road at night that you just couldn't explain? If you enjoyed this story, and you want to hear more tales from the edge of the light, be sure to like and subscribe. The night is full of stories, and I have so many more to tell. Let me know your own experiences in the comments below. For now, blow out your lantern and stay safe out there.